Hey guys, Matcha and Trade here. Welcome to today's stock chart analysis. I'm starting with McDonald's because it's very exciting. Look at that, guys. Look at that. What a huge run up for McDonald's after earnings. So McDonald's was sat at this price level here, and you can tell from this chart that I'm on the 1 hour at the moment. If I move to the daily chart, this is such great news for McDonald's. So you can see there's a massive gap up from earnings today. It's just literally just shot up to almost over $300 a share now. So it's way above its 50-day moving average and its 200-day moving average. So for anybody who's placed a call option on this, I think you've done really well. I think there was a good chance of knowing that McDonald's would, have great earnings. But with earnings, you never know, because when you play options, there's such a thing as the volatility crush on it. But, a lot of people still do try to play call options on these. Sorry, I'm just going everywhere at the moment. Just hang on a second and go back to McDonald's. So yes, look at that. That's an excellent play today. Great earnings call to the upside. So it's still climbing. So at this point, if you are an options trader, you can wait for it to hit the peak. And you can place, look, if you're on the 5-minute chart, you can see that it's like starting its way down again. So you can place puts on this. You can, instead of doing calls, you can do puts. But obviously, it'll take some time. This could just literally be a pullback and then it will carry on again. So let's have a look at the 30-minute to see how. So it's still making its way up. You can see the RSI has gone way above 80. The MACD is still running. So there's still a lot of buyers in this market still. If we go to the 15-minute, this could just be a quick pullback. You could, do a quick scalp here and then kind of carry on trading upwards. I think this is just a quick pullback. If we just go to the 1 minute, so it's that blue line that I have there. That's the VWAP for the volume weighted average price. So it's still moving above there. And if we go and have a look at the Heikin-Ashi candles, like normally when I'm trading in and out, especially in the 1 minute or the 5-minute chart, I would use Heikin-Ashi because it's quite clear to tell you, it's quite clear visually to see, whether something is still trading upwards or whether you should, jump out of a trade. But as you can see for McDonald's, it was just a quick pullback and now it's still continuing upwards, but it seems to be hitting its high here. So if I put a price alert there, that could be the ceiling for today, or it may just go a little bit higher and then start to drop. So let's move to have a look at what Tesla is doing on the day. Oh, that didn't look good. Let me just go to the 1 day. So it's always best to look on the higher time frames to start, your understanding of where the market sits for the stock. So at the moment, Tesla has dropped below its 50-day moving average on the daily time frame. So it still seems to be in a downtrend at the moment, and it seems to be holding at this. So can you see we're hitting this? We've obviously gone below that support here. So what I'll do is I'll put in another support below there because it's obviously decided that it wants to go lower. So it's now hitting its next support level here. Hopefully it'll bounce off of here and move higher. But like I said, Tesla is also dependent on the news for the fact that, you know, it's all related to, you know, Elon being the face of the company, and obviously the politics that follow it. So yeah, everything really does, it's all combined with, you know, the news. So you really have to keep an eye out to hear what's happening, to understand which way Tesla decides to go. But we do have a doji here, and if it forms into a hammer candle, it could keep going up. So this is the 4-hour time frame. It looks as though it's trying to make its way back up again, but during last week it did drop from its highs of almost 400 and 440. So it was heading towards 500 again. Let me just go on to a weekly chart. So for the weekly chart, yeah, the highest Tesla is like the highest is 500 at the moment. If I go to the monthly, yeah, it is. The all-time high for Tesla is almost 500. You can see there. So at 500 is the all-time high this year for Tesla, which is, you know, that's really good. But from there, it's obviously backtracked and it's obviously pulling back. So if you are interested in obviously purchasing Tesla at a good price, these are the days in which you do them. It's not financial advice, obviously, but you know, you always buy when there's a bargain. And right now, and you know, while Elon is part of this administration in the US for 4 years, you do have a good chance to make money with Tesla, because if you get Tesla at like bargain prices, within 4 years it would, like, you know, only go higher and higher and higher depending on the economy. And that's what the US are planning to do. They're planning to make America great again, and obviously a part of that would be electric cars. So Tesla would be a good stock to purchase at this price. So I guess a lot of people would like this price to go lower and lower and lower and get it even at, you know, really dirt cheap prices, like, you know, 250 or something like this. Let's have a look at the 5-minute chart. So if you're going to trade intraday, you'd have to like go to a smaller time frame, knowing that it's only an intraday scalp. See, on the 1 minute, you could have like scalped that from this, from here, from this, from, let me just put from here to here, and then you would have been out of the trade. That's a quick scalp. Anyway, guys, if you're interested in anything to do with, you know, futures trading, as I say, I'll set up a futures trading. It's all basically the same when you analyze these charts. It's the same. It's just the way how you place your trade in them. Like futures, you would use a different platform. Over in the UK, a lot of people do use Tradeovate to trade futures. So it's the way that you you know, trade in and out of them that makes it different. The good thing about futures is you don't have to deal with, you know, the Greeks. The Greeks can be a nightmare for options, but sometimes for options, if you choose your deltas very well and you avoid theta decay by, you know, selling options rather than buying options, then, you know, it's not too bad. But then again, black swan events, tariffs, they can really knock your options out of the, you know, out of the, you know, basically just knock them for 10 really, if you're not aware of, you know, news events that happen. But normally if you do buy your options, you know, further out, say 30 days, 60 days, and obviously if you buy leap options, you're kind of a little bit immune from this, because you're basically giving your options a lot of time to breathe. So even though you have, you know, some events like tariffs that are, you know, going to cause the stock market to tank, then it doesn't really matter, because your options are like dated far out, 6 months out, say. Leaps are normally a year out, but that's playing for a long term. Normally they're quite expensive to purchase those, depending on the size that you plan to trade with. I tend to just trade with a closer day and a closer time. There's such a thing as like 0 DTEs, where if say for the McDonald's, if you're going to have a 50-50 to see whether with earnings it will pop or not pop, then obviously doing a 0 DTE doesn't really cost that much for call options, but you could be in the money by 400, 500, 1,000% sometimes. And I think if anybody had played that McDonald's play today, would have made quite a killing. As I say, it's all a lot of learning. On my channel, I have a lot of shorts explaining the price action patterns, candlestick patterns, not price action, candlestick patterns. You have head and shoulder patterns. You have the bull flag patterns, the falling wedge patterns. You have all sorts of patterns that you can follow that can help your trade, to forecast where the price action could go up or down. So have a look at my shorts, guys. I do incorporate those tips there for you. My longer form is just to give you analysis each day of the stocks that I look at. So let's move on to NVDA. So Tesla, as I say, it's trying to make its way up. But if you can buy the dips, then obviously that's really great for your portfolio. So that's the 1 minute. Let's move out to the weekly chart for NVIDIA first. So for NVIDIA, okay, it's still uptrending. Obviously, there's been a major pullback from last week, as you can see. It's pulled back. That white moving average there, that's the 200-day moving average. So NVIDIA has dropped to the 200-day moving average, but as you can see, at that price point, that is a bargain for NVIDIA. I mean, if you'd managed to pick that up below 120, you've picked up some really great NVIDIA shares for a really good price. So it's pulled back to that point, and now it's on its way back up again. That's quite a steep pullback, isn't it, really, to the 200-day moving average. Normally, that 50-day moving average, that yellow line, is where NVIDIA tends to pull back to. But I think, as I say, with all the Trump wars that are Trump tariff wars that are taking place at the moment, that's why there's been a bigger drop for NVIDIA, and also other news for NVIDIA that's, DeepSeek. Oh, I think it was DeepSeek, wasn't it, that caused this massive drop in NVIDIA. Yep, so NVIDIA is making its way back up this week with that green candle there. I'm on the weekly time frame. Let's move to the daily time frame. I'm still on high Kanashi candles just to make life a bit easier so you can see which way it's trending. So on the daily time frame, NVIDIA is making its way back up, just like Tesla is making its way back up. I think the earnings for NVIDIA is coming out on the 26th. So towards the end of this month, we're having earnings for NVIDIA. Hopefully, there'll be some great news and NVIDIA will shoot all the way back up to 150 again. But it all depends on, how the earnings call goes for NVIDIA, because obviously there's sentiment in the market as well for it. Let's see on the 1 hour time frame how it's doing. So if you're going to play call options today, you'd be doing quite well, because obviously its trajectory is going upwards. So it's top resistance at the moment. The line in the sand for NVIDIA is hitting 138 to 140. If it can get there, that's where it may decide to give up at that point. But yeah, so NVIDIA is a good call play for today. It's still moving upwards on the 30-minute time frame. As you can see, I tend to work from the higher time frame down, because then you have a better understanding of where you are on the chart. Because if you've like zoomed in straight away to a 1 minute time frame, you cannot be certain where you are in the grand scheme of things. If you are zoomed into, obviously, say like a 15-minute time frame, you're literally just playing between support and resistance. Is all that's the only kind of guideline that you have for your actual play. So normally, if I am, doing scalps on NVIDIA, it will be in the 15-minute time frame. Then I'd make my entry points in the 1 minute time frame to buy options. So if I played this today, I would have bought my option down here, buy low and then sell high. So I would have bought in here and just waited for this run up to hit resistance, and then make my profit, and then out of the trade I go. And obviously the more contracts that you have, if you're quite confident that the move is in your direction, then just keep adding contracts to it, and then that's obviously where you make the bigger payout for the gains that you get from the end of it. Obviously that's if I was to be in the NVIDIA play call today, but obviously I'm doing this chart analysis, so I'm not actually in this trade for today. But you can see, if I move back to normal candles, let's have a look at what it's doing. Yeah, so it's had a slight pullback. I'm on a 5 minute time frame here, so it's done quite well. It's still, let me just check what my moving averages are for this chart, because I tend to change them depending what I'm looking at. Okay, so that yellow one must be that's the 21-day moving average. Okay, so NVIDIA would be a really good play to the upside today. So it depends really. I mean, you could still jump in now. If you wanted to, you could jump in at this, knowing that it will go all the way up to 140. I mean, you're halfway through the trade, but you could get, a quick scalp in here. Let's see what the 1 minute's doing. I may, after ending this stream, I may jump into this play, because it looks as though it's still heading upwards. And at the moment, as I say, the market's only just opened. Unless there's going to be like a crazy, news event that can cause this to go in the other direction, it looks as though NVIDIA is still like moving up. So yeah, I may just jump into this trade after this recording. Yeah, so NVIDIA is looking quite good at the moment. We'll see at the end of the day like how high it goes, and if it goes in, if it continues to go up. Right, okay, so those are the two ones that I like to trade with, because obviously there's a lot of people that trade them. Let me just have a look at DJT. DJT is a Trump play for his media company. I think this is a really good squeeze play when there's some good news. So I think DJT at the moment it's been hovering. If I go out into like the monthly time frame here, I've played DJT a few times. I played for his inauguration when it just popped like crazy. I think it was, let me just find the candle that just went mad. Yeah, I think it was there, that candle. And then since then, it's just dropped. So I played it for the, when he was being elected. And I think it was this green candle that blew up. And then the inauguration as well. But then for the inauguration, for squeezes, you have to understand that a lot of people have, bags that they like to sell once they get to, the price point. And it basically got halted, and then everybody got out of their position, and then it never went any higher than this mark at 50, at just over $50. And this is when, you know, the whole play was squeezed. The whole squeeze play was halted by the exchanges. And since then, a lot of bag holders have just been trying to dump and get out of, you know, their DJT trades. And that's why it's never really, you know, moved past this point. So literally, if we go onto the daily chart, you can see it's just been hovering around this mark of about $30 to $31, $32. It's just been playing around here, consolidating and waiting to see if there's any crazy news that will like shoot it up or shoot it down. But really, the play with DJT, I feel, will come when Bitcoin starts to fly. So at the moment, I'm on trading 212, so I would place shares on this, because with shares you can't really lose your capital, because obviously you just hold it and wait for, you know, your shares to break even before you get, you know, before you sell your shares again. So you can't really lose with shares. But right now, as you can see, it's just been hovering around this mark since February, you know. Well, I'm on a 1 hour chart, sorry. Let me just go back. Well, it's been hovering literally around this support area, about $30. And I think if Bitcoin were to fly, this stock, DJT, will like have a massive squeeze. And hopefully, if it does squeeze, like it will go beyond that $50, because I think most of the bag holders that were up here, I think they've sold out now. And that's why you've seen like this decline here of this stock, is because they've all been selling out of, you know, their positions. So yeah, this is a play that I'm keeping like on the radar, because I think when Bitcoin will, you know, when Bitcoin has its moment in the limelight, this DJT will fly. So it's a case of buying in at a good point. And I have like, you know, all my price alerts that are ready. I mean, if you can jump in and just wait at this point, that's fine. And then you can just, you know, wait for the price action to moon, you know, on the day that we get good news for Bitcoin. So as I say, that's another one that I keep an eye out for. And there's a penny stock at the moment that I've heard about, and I think it's called BN, what was it called? BNZI. Was it BNZI? Banzai International. Yeah, I don't know what Banzai International is, but apparently it's a play at the moment that people are looking at. So if I go on to, so I'm in the Trading 212 app, guys, and you can press this icon here and it gives you like social price alerts, stats, key stats, and then right at the bottom it gives you general information. So this is a marketing technology company for social sharing. So it's a SaaS solution, and at the moment, for some reason, this is a really good short play. So at the moment, there are some shorts that are being shorted, like, you know, they're getting squeezed out of their plays at the moment. I think there's been some good news with this company. I think if I go into the monthly, you can see this company once was sat quite high. Look, it's fallen from, wow, that's quite a high price point it's fallen from. So this is the penny stock that people are looking at now for a short squeeze. So there is a possibility that it can go back to this price point here of about $11. Let me just mark that in. So that's a good price point, but then you've got some other price points before it gets there, here at about almost $3. So this is a play that people are looking at the moment. I might have a little go on this one as well later on when I finish this recording. So I think, what's this date here? So it last had a squeeze on January the 30th. So just at the end of January it had a squeeze, and now it's projected for another one. That's on the daily. If I go to the 1 hour chart, so here on the 1 hour chart, yeah, you can see there is like some kind of move up today, unless I've already missed it. That was its squeeze there. I might have missed this one already, guys. Let's go to the 30-minute chart. Let's go to a 1 minute chart. See, sometimes the 1 minute doesn't really give you much clear information. Yeah, I think this squeeze has already happened. Can you see this big sledgehammer? Whoa, do you see that move there? It's quite an active trade still happening. But you can see as it's being pushed down, that seller's pushing that price down. Normally when you see this kind of action, it's heading downwards, but there's a bit of a fight at the moment on that. So I think this squeeze may have already happened, and let me go to trying to find a chart that's very clear to show what's happening. So how do I say it? It's like a band. This green band and this red band, these are the Keltner channels. So when a squeeze happens, it can go as high as that green outer band and as low as that red outer band. But at the moment, it's sat in between, so I'm not sure how much higher this can go. This is on a 15-minute time frame. The thing is, you don't want to be entering at this point, because at this point, can you see down here, guys? Can you see if I just try to open my MACD? Sometimes you need to, there we go. Can you see the MACD there? It's already trending upwards. You don't want to be entering a trade at these price points. This is too high. You're not going to be, you're not going to get much of a payout if you jump in so high. And the RSI is like way above 50. You want to be 50 and below. When can you see the RSI is this bottom line here, this purple chart at the bottom? See if I can like mark it out for you. See here, hang on. Anyway, the purple line down, oh here we go, this purple line here, guys, this is your RSI. Can you see it's starting to go down now? You don't want to enter while it's above 50. When it's 50 and below, that's a good time to enter trades, because you're getting a really good price for the trade that you're in, like buy low, sell high. So you want to enter below 50 and then wait for it to go up to above, well, oversold at 80, and that's where you get out. But right now, it's not really a great time to go in, because it's kind of like indecisive. It's not really doing much. I think the squeeze has already happened with that. Okay, guys, that's it. That's the stock market for today. Those are the stocks I've been looking at. But as I say, if you're interested in any particular ones, just drop it in the comment below, and I'll chart those out for you. So tomorrow, hopefully I'll try to update these and send them out before the day. As I say, I'm new to this, so bear with me. My camera phone storage is just kind of like going bazonkers. It's just, it can't take, like all these recordings is just like blowing up the space in the storage. So just bear with me, guys. This is my week 2 of uploading now. So yeah, put down in the comments below the stocks that you'd like me to look at and chart up for you. As I say, Matcha tea and out, guys. Have a great day. Bye.